Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cultural Awareness, the podcast that allows you to travel across the world. All of this from the backseat of your car, the comfort of your home, or maybe your neighbor house. Who knows? Wherever you are, welcome. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'm your host, Big Steph. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to this new podcast edition. And yeah, I'm really super pumped about this because today we are going to talk about something that is a little bit different, right? We are going to get a little bit deeper inside culture awareness, right? And to kick things off, I have a subject that maybe might interest women, right? Because this podcast episode is dedicated to you. Yes, you heard me. It's dedicated to women. So I was going through the web the other day and I started realizing that yes, what particularity is with us African. I realized that most of Africa live in what we call a patriarchy society, right? A patriarchal society, meaning a society ruled by men, right? Women still have a big, important place, but most of the time, the decision, the wealth, everything is passed down through the male side instead of the female side, with few exceptions, of course, but most of African society is a patriarchy. And so I went on an adventure of trying to look if there are still any matriarchal society out there, if there's any matriarchy out there, right? So I came across actually many articles that talk about this subject. So before we get everything started, we need to understand what a matriarchy society is, because there's always that confusion of a matriarchal society is a society that is ruled by women where men have no place. No, that is not true. It's different from patriarchy. That is the case, right? In most time, that is the case where men rule everything. Well, in matriarchy society, it's a little bit different. So let's start going down about the criteria of a matriarchal society. You might be living in one and you don't know. So this is your opportunity to learn. That is why you need to come to podcast of cultural awareness, y'all. You have to check this episode out. So with no further ado, let's kick it. So, what is a matriarchal society, right? That's what we all are here for. What is a matriarchal society? Well, a matriarchal society is a society where women are placed at the center of the culture. I repeat, women are placed at the center of the culture. So, to understand this a little bit further, let's go back a little bit in Greek mythology, right? So, you probably have heard before of the Amazon. The Amazon were a tribe of women that were warrior, right? And they used to go ahead and conquer places and protect their tribe, of course. But it was only women. And you will wonder, well, how did these women keep up with the culture as far as reproduction is concerned? Well, every year, like once a year, women of the Amazon tribe will go in the neighborhood village of I believe it was something like the Gagarian, and they will have sex with these men with the goal of getting pregnant, and they will head back to their tribe. When they get back to their tribe, what will happen is, for women that got pregnant, they will only keep the girls. And if they feel bad enough, if it's a boy, they will bring the boys to their father in the village. If not, they will maybe leave him somewhere out there in the mountain, a river or stream, or they will just leave the boys to die. That was what I call the complete, extremism of a matriarchal society. But you're probably also wondering, do we still have any matriarchy society today? Yes, but before we get to that, let's understand a little bit more what a matriarchy society is, right? So one characteristic of a matriarchal society, number one, wealth is passed down on the woman's side instead of the father's side, right? So what does this mean? That means that, let's say a woman is married to a man and she happened to die, the wealth of that couple will be going down through the female side of the family, like I guess the daughter, and they also carry what we call so they will pass it down to their daughter or to their a woman on their side of the family. It will not go to the side of the man. And the second characteristic is that the bloodline, right? Because in Africa, for example, in my culture of the Bantu, when a man died, the inheritance goes through the male side. So son, because we assume that women will get married and they still get their cut, but who is in charge now is a man, right? He's there to represent the father that just passed away. That is what we call to carry their inheritance. So it goes down to a man's side. Well, with matriarchal society, it goes down to a woman's side, maybe the daughter, or they will find the sister of the wife that just passed away, because they don't want it to be passed down on the male side. It has nothing malicious or anything like that. It's just the way that type of society, in this case matriarchy, is set up. So it's not that they hate on men or anything like that. It's just the way their society is set up. The bloodline passed through the woman's side. And one reason I heard is, before, you can for sure guarantee that a child is a woman child, but you can never be sure. At the time, at least, when there were no DNA tests, you cannot be sure that the child is the father child, because a woman can still go out there and sleep with someone and have the baby. We know for a fact that it comes from a woman, but we don't know for a fact that it comes from the father. That is why they choose to pass down the bloodline to the female side, to ensure that the bloodline won't be, I won't say tampered, but that the bloodline will stay for sure on the woman's side. Let's also know that a matriarchal society is not a society that is, just ruled by women. It's a society where women are not in a disadvantaged position compared to male, right? So a lot of people often think that, matriarchy, that means that women just want to take over the world, they want to rule the world. No, that is not the case in a true matriarchal society. A true matriarchal society is just where women are placed at the center of the culture, where women are also making decisions equally compared to their counterpart male. Women are not in in a disadvantaged position based on their sex, right? And matriarchal society is where power is shared, right? Men don't keep all the power. Power is shared between female and male. But women are placed at the center of the culture. That is the whole point here. That being said, have you ever heard of a walking marriage? Well, you're about to learn that new term today, y'all. Give it up. Walking marriage. What is a walking marriage? Well, to understand this term, we have to go back a little bit in China with what we call the Mosuo women. Mosuo women are still today a matriarchal society, meaning that women, number one, don't get married. Number two, women are the center of the culture. Number three, men are banned from the tribe, actually. But women, like the Mosuo women, get to invite men at night to sleep with them, right? And this is one of the few culture that I was able to find in today's society. It's a world, in today's society, where women are allowed to take as many lovers as they wish. So women decide who they want to sleep with at night, right? So they have the right to have many lovers as they wish, and it's called a walking marriage, because there's no place for a father, there's no place for a husband. It's just lover, right? So you come at night, and in the morning, if she feels like she doesn't need you back anymore, hey, you're out of your way, and someone else will come and take your spot. That is just the way it is, right? So lovers do not live together, because it's obviously, like I say, men are banned. So men only come at night, but these women invite these men to their dormitory at night, and they have an arrangement of what they call a walking marriage. And once their business is done, everybody, I guess, go their way. So that is a new term. I have never even heard of it myself. But hey, through this podcast, I'm finding out a lot of things about culture that I didn't know, because I have never heard of it. But it actually does exist, a walking marriage, where you come in at night and you leave in the morning based on the arrangement that was set up. In this culture, the walking marriage is also referred to as no one business, right? Because it only has to do with the people involved, right? Which is the female and the male that she decides to bring over to her dormitory at night. It's no one else's business, because this walking marriage can last for a day, or can last for, I don't know, a couple months or whatever. But as soon as, the woman is bored, she decides she doesn't want it anymore, she can just go ahead and cut it off and bring someone else. So there's no ties. And they say that in this type of culture, a woman will before she finish her time on this planet, she will have many lovers like that, right? So it's something that is always recurring. They always change. They always, you better be a good candidate out there if you want to keep coming. So that is pretty much what the Mosuo woman, which is, I repeat, is in China, in Asia, right? The Mosuo woman. Sure, I gotta learn how to pronounce these things right. Mosuo woman. Okay.
Yo, boss, where is the commercial?
We ain't got none. We got to work harder.
That is true. We ain't got no commercial. We gotta work harder, man. We're trying to take this thing to the next level. That being said, let's go back to Mosuo women of China. Like I said, they are patriarchal society. But you probably wonder, are there any other matriarchal society out there? Oh, did I say patriarchal? I think I meant to say matriarchal society. Matriarchy. So another tribe that is a matriarchal society is the Bribri in Costa Rica. You also have the Umoja of Kenya. By the way, we Kenyan out there and you speak Swahili, Jambo to you, my brother. So Umoja is actually based in like I said, it's based in Kenya, and Umoja in Swahili actually means unity. Right, I believe, it means unity, and it was founded in 1990 by women that went through what we call sexual violence, right? Women that actually went through what we call sexual or gender-based violence, and they created this tribe, in the 1990, and in this tribe it's a no man land, right? No man is allowed or whatever. So women are literally ruling everything in the Umoja tribe of Kenya. And the women and children show tourists their village and work to educate others about their right. We are talking here about the Umoja women of Kenya. And in this tribe, like I said, Umoja means in Swahili, unity. That's pretty much it about them. I'm not going to go too deep. So the fourth matriarchal society that we have here is the Minangkabau of Indonesia. Minangkabau of Indonesia, right? They are also another society where women do get married, but it is a choice. So women do get married, but it's a choice, right? The marriage is feasible, but women are placed again at the center of the culture, and it's believed that women play a very, very important role in a society. So that is also why they are called a matriarchal society, and don't forget that wealth is also passed on the mother side versus the father side. Now, in Africa, yeah, baby, welcome to Africa. So, in Africa, you actually have to go in Ghana to look for a matriarchal society. In Ghana, you have what we call the Akan of Ghana. They are also made up of like the Asantes and other little tribe, but the big group is called the Akan of Ghana. So in the Akan of Ghana, yeah, women are also placed at the center of the society. Women take decision. Women, men actually do also hold what we call a leadership position in the Akan, but it's a society that is mostly ruled by women. What do I mean by rule? Right? Don't get confused. Like some of the economical lineage is passed down on the mother side. Do not get confused. That when we say rule, it's not like rule where men have no say or anything like that. No, that is not what I'm trying to say here. And remember, a matriarchal society, except for some couple cases, men still have their place. It's just that it's kind of equal, or not that kind of. It is equal, where men and women participate, whether it's in the politics decision, economical decision, and so forth and so forth. So, if you like this part of the explanation about patriarchy and matriarchy, please feel free to follow the podcast again. And I'm about now to get to what we call our usual story of the day. Story of the day, y'all. Alright, so in today's story of the day, y'all, I maybe need to stop saying y'all. So in today's story of the day, I have to put things into context. So let's go back a little bit in Africa, the Bantu tribe, where I belong, proudly, of course. So in the Bantu tribe, like we talk about, we live in a patriarchal society. In a patriarchal society, everything is passed down on the man side of the family, right, versus woman. So that being said, when your father or passes away or your grandfather passes away, they have to have another child that is man that will take over his place. It's called inheritance, right? We're not talking about wealth or anything like that. We need someone else that is going to come and make decisions, right? That is going to decide on what direction the rest of the family is going to follow. Usually this person is chosen based on the fact that the grandfather had already chosen him and put it somewhere in a secret, right? They were studied throughout their life and everything. And when the father finally passed away, he already left like a will of who is going to take charge of the family, the tradition, respect traditional side and things like that. So into this story of the day, well, there's this young man, right? He's in his late 30s, and he's writing because nothing in his life is working. Every time he decides to do something, it doesn't work. Every time let's say he maybe got a job interview, he doesn't get the job. Let's say he maybe has how can I say, like, nothing is working, right? So every project that he decided that, I'm going to go ahead and take this route, it doesn't work for him. And he's writing because his grandfather, before he passes away, told the rest of the family that he was supposed to carry on the lineage, because the grandfather only had women. And so the grandfather only had women, and he's happened to be the only man now in the family, right? And the grandfather has said that whoever comes, the first boy that will come in the family will be the one carrying out his throne. And this grandfather belonged to the chiefdom. So the seat at the chiefdom, at the kingdom, because a chief in the Bantu tribe has also 9 member of the kingdom that are like royalty also. Like they are the one that protect the king in terms of like mystical power, and they have some type of power that allow them to protect not only the king but the village. I'm not going to go too much in detail about what those mystical power are, but they do have, and his grandfather belongs to those 9. So now the seat at the chiefdom or the kingdom is empty because we are waiting for him. Even the king himself is waiting for him. So he ran away from the village and he's surprised that nothing in his life is working, and he's writing to know what he should do. Should he, because his excuse is that he's a Christian man and he doesn't believe in doing mystical stuff, like, having mystical power and things like that. So he's writing to ask, should he go ahead in a kingdom and take that seat that belonged to his grandfather, so he can no longer be empty, so that his life can be prosperous? Or should he just keep running ahead and keep praying, the God of church? Well, the answer to that is, based on what I heard some of the elders that know the tradition well, the elders told him, you cannot say that a seed is cursed by accusing that seed of having mystical power, or that is magic, and that is magic, and come back and try to sit on it. You will not live. You will get killed. So the best way for you is either you go ahead and forget everything you think you know about the seat or the kingdom, and go ahead with a neutral mind, so you can really learn. Or you can just stay where you are and believe in the God that you think is the right God. Because there's always that concept of tradition, right? Traditionalists in my country believe that they have the true God, and there's the church that come and say they have the true God. And traditionally always ask, if church say that they have the true God, why are they always causing war over who was Jesus, who was Muhammad, who was so why are they always doing that? We don't have that problem. We know who God is. We have a scientific fact of who God is. So if this kid wants to live longer, he needs to repent and go back to that kingdom with a neutral mind, so that they can, I guess, practice the tradition on him, so he can sit where he's supposed to belong, because it was written in the wall. Before he even came, they already knew that he will be here. So I don't know how they do that, but they already knew it. I don't like to get too much into, some things that I myself are not too aware of, because it's tradition and there are things that we are not allowed to talk about. So, but I know that before he came there in this world, the grandfather already had predisposition of who was going to take his place, and it happened that it will be him. So now nothing is working in his life because he ran away, and he doesn't want to assume the role that the grandfather had planned for him. That is why he's having trouble. So my question to you guys is, what do you think of the story of the day? Do you think that traditionalists or traditions in Africa are barbarian? If yes, why is this man's life being affected if, in fact, he's believing in the God of church versus the God of his tradition? So please leave questions, and leave comments and everything, so that we can get to know more about what other people's opinions are. That being said, I love this part of the show where I give a quote of the day. So I hope you're ready to laugh, right? I hope you're ready to laugh, because this is a good quote. I think it's a good quote. Hopefully you get to like it. So, quote of the day.
Yo, boss, where is the commercial?
We ain't got none. We got to work harder.
Alright, so we're still sponsored by nobody. So, that being said, quote of the day. So, in today's quote of the day, this is what it is. If you think you are too small to make a difference, you haven't spent a night with a mosquito. If you think you are too small to make a difference, you haven't spent a night with a mosquito. Tell me what you think about the quote of the day. I thought that was a great quote, because some people always think that, oh, how can I make a difference? Like, I'm nobody to make a difference. Well, we always can make a difference. Look at a mosquito at night and tell me if a single mosquito cannot make sure that you don't sleep all night. That is the quote of the day. that being said, ladies and gentlemen, today we're coming to the end of this podcast episode. I hope you like it. I hope you got to learn something. And by the grace of God, I hope that everybody out there stay safe. Stay safe in this hard time of the coronavirus. And please feel free to check out my Instagram, bsteph77, or my iTunes, my Spotify, Cultural Awareness, or my Spreaker, Cultural Awareness, or my Twitter, Nesde Stefan, at Nesde Stefan, or my Facebook page, right, Stefan Nembot. And yeah, there's this new restaurant in the Dallas area. Don't feel free to go and check it out. It's called Taste of Cameroon. Taste of Cameroon. Don't forget to check out that restaurant. It's really, really nice. And especially if you want to have some type of food that come from the motherland, that are cooked using spices from the motherland, feel free to check that restaurant out. Taste of Cameroon. I think you have to order ahead of time before they cook it for you, because everything have to be made fresh. Feel free to check it out. Taste of Cameroon, by the way. The lady that owned it didn't pay me for advertising, so I'm just speaking it, I'm just talking about it. Taste of Cameroon, everybody. Feel free to check it out. Thank you. Have a great weekend, or should I say have a great week. Work hard, be productive, and God bless.